A woman in South Carolina just got arrested for filing a false claim on a Louis Vuitton bag. Louis Vuitton. And we're going to go over how that affects her, the fines, the jail time, and how insurance looks at this on the angle, because the insurance company is the one causing the lawsuit and going after her, which legally she's now in jail. In this scenario, this article I read, the woman was allegedly submitted a false insurance claim. So she made a fake receipt for a Louis Vuitton bag and a car insurance claim, and she tried to claim that as damaged or lost property. She was charged with presenting false insurance claim and forgery. Now, there's the laws and then there's our opinions, right? We've got the fraud actual claim, submitting the claim allegedly was false, which that's clear as day, and she admitted to it, so this is why she's gotten arrested. The insurance fraud is between $2,000 to $10,000. So in this state, there's a limit of the amount of fraud that you can have. If you stole $100 from somebody, that's a lesser crime versus if you stole $10,000 from somebody. In insurance, it's anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000, and that's treated as a felony level offense. So she could get a felony for just the amount that she's claiming technically stealing from the insurance company. Now, the forgery part is from altering and creating the fake receipt. So that's a whole nother felony. This is just straight felony. If you forge someone else's name, she's technically impersonating an employee. We've all watched that movie. I don't remember what it's called, where the guy writes the checks and then fakes them and he flies around the world and you're chasing after him. That's kind of similar to this scenario at a lower level of being caught. So what can she expect? There's estimated jail time as far as the penalty, and commonly you're going to get up to 5 years in prison. We'll see what happens from this. Stay tuned and subscribe if you want to find out more. The fines are probably going to be between $5,000 and $10,000 for filing that claim with the company. And then there's going to be court-ordered restitution. So that's something that she's going to have to pay the insurance company back, because there's an adjuster involved. It's not just the money. There's the claims. There's calling the companies. There's all the time involved from the carrier. And that service is going to be something that she might have to repay. That's just the initial claim. There's also the forgery piece, which can also be 5 years in prison, additional fines, and a felony conviction. Worst case scenario, she can have 5 to 10 years. That's pretty drastic. She could have a $10,000 plus in fines, which probably is going to happen, on top of having to hire a lawyer and all the things. There's the court costs, and then there's the attorney fees. That's usually going to cost $15,000 to $25,000. So for one false fraud claim in insurance, she's going to probably have $25,000+ worth of fees and fines on top of, she's already in jail. She's spending time in prison or in a jail cell right now. The bigger piece is if she has any type of financial background. So she's working in the financial industry, in an insurance industry, anywhere where money is typically handled, or any government position, she's no longer going to be able to have that because of a fraud claim. Anytime you have those, the insurance company is going to stamp it with fraud. You're going to have the legal process and all that happen. And if you are seen that way, you can't have the jobs. I couldn't keep my license. Someone couldn't have a lawyer job. All those things that you would typically have as a high income is no longer available to you. On top of, yes, you're going to be having the convictions. You're going to have a convict record and all that stuff. So jobs in general are going to be tougher, but more so the immediate piece that you're going to see the effect that she's going to have is probably unemployment. Employers, the background checks are going to pull those every time. Any bank, financing, government, licensing profession is going to be no longer an option. Insurance eligibility, she's probably not going to be insurable for a long time if she is. I have had a customer that went through a fraud and did get insurance. It was like 5 times the normal price. But that was what it was, because they were taking the risk of having a possible fraud person on the record for X amount of years. And then professional license, if she has one, it's gone. She can't work in any finance, all those things. Financial impact, we said court cost, attorney fee, restitution, wage garnishments, damage to credit if she has good credit, and then the arrest record, all of those things. Social media is going to blow up because she's named, and I'm not going to go through all that. The other piece is that I want to cover, how often are insurance companies paying attention to these scenarios? This is becoming more and more of an article that I see in the news, because insurance companies are going after people more now than I've ever seen in the past. In Michigan, in our state, we recently saw somebody get sued because they didn't list a non-driver on their policy. One, it didn't cost anything extra. At least I don't believe it did. It made me a couple dollars. But two, they were asked, do you have any additional non-drivers, which is kids? Like, do you have a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old? Because medical is covered in our state. and they tried to file a medical claim on that kid because they weren't covered and there was a cost to that. The insurance wanted the money back. So they wanted to get the cost paid back that they had paid for because it was specifically signed that there were no additional non-drivers or people that lived in the home. So be very careful when you're talking to the agent and filling out the paperwork, or if you're doing it yourself, be very careful on knowing or understanding the rules and the laws that you have to follow as far as those questions. It's not just the company trying to get an extra $5 out of you. It's just understanding that what coverage risk they're taking. And if you're saying no in those scenarios, you're not going to have the coverage that you thought you had. So yes, this is becoming a bigger thing, and there are larger fraud departments. This is one beautiful piece of AI that you guys can understand is they're implementing artificial intelligence into risk claims. They're determining, is this fraud? Is this possible? And then they're investigating. And they're finding that AI is very good at finding fraud. And AI is very good at understanding fake insurance and fake things inside of the industry. This is becoming the largest investment that insurance is giving into the industry. Is good for you and me if we're safe drivers, we're not lying, we're not like that shady person. It's going to bring our rates down, but it's bad for the person that doesn't have the right claim or is putting the false information in on purpose just to save some money. For a few thousand people, a few $1,000s, she may have risked her freedom. I mean, she already has. She's in jail. Her future's pretty much gone, unfortunately. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think this is fair? Is it something she made the mistake, she should pay for it? Or do you think it's something that, these insurance companies are getting too tight with things and they should let certain things like that slide? I want to know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'm Mark with Think Insurance. I'll see you in the next one.